Hello everyone, welcome back to Joe Consumes Cinema. I am your host. Hi, I'm Dan from Grim Reaper Gutters. I won't leave until I make a sale. And today we have another movie request on the channel. The fourth request in total, and the third request from a good old friend of ours, Clovers, twitch.tv/Cillian. So, the movie is The Door and the Floor. Now, I've never heard of this, but I do know that it has Jeff Bridges and Kim Basinger. And Jeff Bridges from The Big Lebowski, great role, great movie if you haven't seen it. You probably all have. And Kim Basinger has been in hundreds of great movies, but more recently, the stuff that I remember of her from is 8 Mile with Eminem and uh, L.A. Confidential, great movie if you haven't seen it. So those two are, terrific, well-respected actors, but you would never ever think to make a movie and put those two together. They're very much an oddball couple, so it's kind of throwing me off. All I have to go on is the movie title and the two lead actors, and I really don't know what to make of this one. This could be like a fantastical element, like John Coffey in The 8 Mile being an angel, or this could be some sci-fi elements, alternate dimension. I really have no idea. Or like even a being John Malkovich situation with the door. I don't know, but we're gonna find out. I just want to say that I have a list, Joe's big movie request list, and it had 6 movies so far. I've seen 5 of them. This is the 6th one. So yeah, I'm kind of out. And any help you could give me there in refilling that, just put it down in the comments, make a request, and I'll get on it because I've only had this list up for about like 2 weeks and it's already empty. So yeah, put a request in. If I haven't seen it, I'll get it up on the channel and react to it. Otherwise, we're gonna have to face the horror of me picking the movies myself that I want to watch. Don't want that to happen. But yeah. As always, remember to blank, blank, and blank. Trying to grow, trying to get bigger. Got some traction lately, and I want to get more. So any help you can give me there is always much appreciated. And with that, let's get right to it.
Makes me sad to think about them,
Makes me sad too, Lucy.
but Mommy's sadder.
Yes.
Dead brothers. Wonder what happened.
I want to try separating for the summer. Just temporarily.
Hmm. So they lost their twin sons some time ago, it looks like, and marriage is kind of going through it. It looks.
What did it sound like?
It was a sound like someone trying not to make a sound.
Parenting is fun.
Eddie?
Mrs. Cole?
Mary.
Aren't you coming in?
Not tonight.
It's an honor to meet you, sir. I want to thank you in advance for this experience.
Well, I hope you find it worthwhile. Ed, this is Dr. Loomis.
Hi.
Eddie's my new assistant.
I read all your novels and all your children's books, and my favorite is The Door and the Floor.
Well, you're probably one of the few people on Earth who have read all my novels. So,
So it was a book he wrote.
Right, Eddie. Take your dress off, please.
Very eccentric. Haven't said anything yet.
Hi.
Hi.
Getting obsessed with her.
Did you see that movie?
Yes.
Me too.
Is that your dinner?
Sorta, yeah. I kind of tired of burgers. I've had one every night since I got here.
Oh boy.
I know boys your age. I know it's what boys your age do, isn't it? Look, Eddie, I am flattered. Felt good to know that someone was at least thinking about me. Didn't.
I think about what you were wearing when I first met you. This pink sweater, buttons up the front.
How's the work going for you?
I just retype the sound like someone trying not to make a sound every morning. And sometimes he chooses a comma from a semicolon, and then next morning he changes it back. He needs a computer.
Ted needs a driver. That's why he hired you, because he needs a driver. I think it was wrong of us to have had Ruth. When we first moved here, the idea was a new place, a new child, a new life, I suppose. Ted's a good father, but he really doesn't know how to do all the stuff you have to do. And I can't. You can tell in this picture. Timothy's more introspective, like you. You still really haven't had sex, have you, Addie? Not really.
No, not really.
The children had opened the door in the floor and had disappeared down the hole. The mommy had tried to look for the children, but when she opened the door in the floor, she heard such an awful sound that her hair turned completely white. And so the mommy wondered if she wanted to have a little boy, especially because of everything that might be under the door and the floor. I'm grateful to you for being such a good friend to Marion. She's been so unhappy. It's good to see her smiling again.
Does he know or just suspect? Reading Eddie here. Doesn't look good. He seems unbothered. If he does know. They take this scene from Big. Racquetball beat up.
909190. You look like a boy who'll sleep well tonight. Maybe you need to catch up on your sleep anyway.
There it is.
I presume it was Marion's mistake, but surely it was a mistake for the two of you to let Ruth see you together. I'm not threatening you, Eddie, but I must tell you that you may be called upon to testify.
Testify.
In the event of a custody dispute regarding which one of us is a more fit parent.
He's way more calm than I thought he would be.
Tell me about the accident. I mean, do you know how it happened, or... Marion.
He just completely shut down.
I don't really understand. He wants to give them to me. He doesn't want them?
He said he wanted you to have them.
Oh. But when is he coming? I mean, he's coming Friday, isn't he? I have the whole day for him on Friday. He knows I have the day. Will you stop? Is he coming on Friday?
I don't know.
Yes, you do know. Did you look at those drawings? Did he show you? I got them locked out. You're gonna have to break in.
Me?
You're gonna have to carry me over the glass. I have bare feet. How dare you? How dare you detest me?
What the hell?
You're not living an unsorted life yourself, are you?
Please, I want to go home.
Oh, go.
She did what?
She didn't mean to, but she exposed herself. The wind, it blew her robe open.
Jesus Christ.
And she locked herself out because of you. She said you liked all the doors to be locked, and you didn't like the gardener to be around.
She told you that?
Yes. She said she had the whole day for you Friday.
She ripped them all up and threw them everywhere. Jesus.
Five.
Oh shit.
Here, goddamn it! I'll kill you, you fucking fraud!
Evelyn.
Oh wow. Groundskeeper's getting his version of revenge.
I don't suppose you girls have a car. Believe it or not, I need a ride. I would want to draw you and your daughter together.
What sort of drawings did you have in mind?
Don't stop.
My goodness.
Wiper.
Okay. That was nicely done.
Where the fuck is my wife?
I don't know.
Don't lie to me. Jesus. What kind of mother doesn't even try to get custody of her daughter?
I don't know. She didn't tell me that.
Okay. Christ. Why did she have to take all of the photographs? They're negatives. She could have taken the negatives and had prints of her own made.
She took the negatives too.
The hell she did.
Go look for yourself.
She can't have the photographs and the negatives. They're my sons too. I should have half the photographs, for Christ's sake. What about Ruth? Ruth should have some of the photographs.
Marion said you'd say that, but she said no.
Ongoing argument between Marion and Ted. Marion said that Ted was drunk, although in his view he wasn't. Marion, while not drunk, certainly had more to drink than she was accustomed to. Besides, Tommy had not been drinking. He had his license. There was no disagreement as to who among them should be the driver. And brothers being brothers, Timmy sat beside him in the passenger seat. And as for the parents, Ted and Marion sat in the back seat. Car is not visible, or it's visible only at the last second to anyone approaching from behind. And then the interior of the car is filled with light. It's the headlights from the car coming from behind. Snowplow cut the car almost perfectly in half. Tommy was killed by the steering column, crushed his chest, died instantly. And Ted was trapped in the back seat for all of 20 minutes.
Wow, that was brutal.
I hired you, Eddie, because you look like Thomas. I gave her you.
Jeez.
You think you saved my life and this cost you your job?
Yes, I did save your life, and it did cost me my job.
Well, Eduardo, I play squash regularly, and I'm pretty fleet of foot. But I do appreciate your brave warning. How much money are we talking about exactly?
I'm not here for a handout, Mr. Cole. I was hoping you might have some word for me.
Give the guy a job. He saved your life.
Let me show you where I want to put a pool.
There you go.
I want,
Hello. So this is a bit awkward, but we had a technical problem with OBS, so I am re-recording the post-reaction discussion section of the video. That's why my shirt has changed and I've shaved. So, quick recap. Ted and Marion Cole are an estranged couple who lost their two boys, Timmy and Tommy, in a tragic car accident, for which they blame both themselves. Their younger daughter, Ruth, is a plot device because her entire reason for being is just a desperate attempt to save their failed marriage. An attempt to move on from the tragedy of the loss of their two sons, and that's pretty much her entire reason for being in this story. Eddie is a high school student who starts an internship to apprentice for Ted Cole. Really, he's there to act as a chauffeur, not anything to do with writing. That's the entire reason he's there. But a romantic relationship evolves between Eddie and Marion. It's revealed that Ted planned this whole thing because Eddie resembles one of their sons. I believe Timmy is what they said. So there's a really dark psychological aspect to this whole movie. I mean, the loss of the two sons is, it's very brutal, and they both blame themselves because the events of the story, they were drinking, it's why they were in the passenger seats. They didn't notice the snow on the car, how that was a hazard, and yeah, the car was basically rendered invisible, and it's what led to the accident. But yeah, there's a whole dark side to this where Ted plans this, and he knows subconsciously that his wife will be attracted to this young kid who resembles their son. It's really, really disturbing. There's also an element of humor in this that I laughed out loud like 2 times at least, but it kind of doesn't fit with the overall story because The Door in the Floor is a children's story within the movie, but it's also just a metaphor for the entire movie. There's that line, how can a mother choose to have a child in a world where there is a door in the floor? And the door in the floor is a representation of death, essentially. And that story is like a microcosm for their entire life. 2 small children go into the door in the floor, and there's horrible screams heard, and they lose their lives. And this mother, Marion, decides to have another child, despite knowing that there is that door in the floor, there is the aspect of death, and yeah, there's this undertone throughout the entire movie. Like the main story is very dark and in a lot of ways disturbing, but there's this element of humor that doesn't really fit with the rest of the tone of the movie. And the movie ends with Ray Cole actually going into a door in the floor, and my interpretation of that is, he's playing racquetball and he's out of breath and he's breathing really, really heavy, and he's like sitting on the floor trying to catch his breath, and finally this look comes over him where he just sort of accepts his fate and then crawls into the door, and my guess is, he has a heart attack and passes away in that moment, and that's just a artistic way of showing, that he's resigned to his fate and has left this plane of existence. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's how I interpreted that scene. But yeah, I enjoyed the movie. It's just, the overall message it's sending is not a positive one for sure. It's just, these really messed up relationships between these people, and I would argue that Eddie and Ruth are just kind of side characters, almost just driving the plot. You could switch Eddie with literally anybody else. He's just there to serve, this twisted function where I don't know if Ted was trying to set Marion up so that he could have a better position in the divorce, or if he was really in a twisted way trying to help her. It's just, I don't know. That whole part of the movie, which is a key part of the movie, it's just, I don't really know how to describe it or put it into words almost. It just makes you feel icky, really. But yeah, the movie was good. I thought it was an interesting way of describing this type of story, and there were elements of it that were pretty unique, like the all the pictures. Like it was described as a tribute or a monument to Timmy and Tommy, and they're literally all over the house. There are hundreds of these things, and it's just this sad commentary on people who can't move past their own grief. But I did think the movie was good, and I'm glad it was recommended to me. Just something I don't know exactly how to feel about, really. The performances were good. It was just the subject matter kind of off-putting. I mean, if you've lost someone, I think this resonates with you more. It's just, I don't know, didn't really resonate with me. Still a good movie. Still glad I got recommended it. It's just kind of difficult to put into words, really. Like, I think I understand the movie in its entirety. It's just I'm not really sure how to feel about it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Thanks for watching, and peace.